This is the whole key right here. And everybody makes a mistake with this. You've got to go into these calls with sellers trying to extract instead of deliver. We are extracting information from the seller. We are helping them construct an offer that they're bringing to us. And we are delivering an offer to them, which is counterintuitive to the way you would think this would work, right? Somebody's got a house for sale, you call them up and make an offer. That's the way most transactions are done, right? In this case, you've got to remember, the seller is in the mindset of just naming a price, getting somewhere around that, and closing on it and walking away with the cash, paying off the mortgage, and all that. When we talk to them about the alternatives that are available, where they have to be a little bit patient, but they can get a lot more money on the house, it's something that they haven't really thought of. And then they got to think on their feet and try to determine what they would do and what they wouldn't do. So it doesn't make a lot of sense for us to be pushing offers at them. It makes more sense for us to learn what they're amenable to, what they might or might not be comfortable with. It's just too aggressive to go at them with the offer. Let's find out what they're willing to do and let's see if they meant it. Okay, so what I do is I approach the seller from the standpoint of the seller's going to make me the offer. I don't know what to offer on the house yet. And I'll just tell people straight up if pressed that my whole point in calling is not really how lovely your house is, but it's to identify whether or not you're somebody who can sell within a structure that I need, and you'll be the beneficiary of providing that because you'll get a lot more money for the house. The structure I need is something where I'm making payments to you for a period of time until I pay you off. And the reason I need that structure is because I have overwhelming demand of people that I've tried to get qualified for a loan, and they've got a little hiccup that we have to work on for the next 3, 6, 9 months, maybe a year. And I've got to work on that to get them qualified. So they all want a place to live. They all want a beautiful house, and they're willing to pay for it. So I get a premium from them, not you. But I don't have enough houses that I can to meet that demand. So you as a seller get a lot more money. But look, I've always got people, as long as the house is livable, there's always people. So I'm calling you to determine if you're willing to take the trade-off of more money. Most people want more money. Everybody wants more money. The downside is you do have to be a little bit patient in getting it, but it's not that big of a downside because I ease the pain by paying you monthly. So if you can do that, you'll get a lot more money. You'll get paid monthly, and we'll get this thing closed at some point down the line where everything is paid off. If you can do that, I can work with you. I can buy this thing right away. If you got to have all your cash immediately when we close, then I'm probably not your buyer, but I can still help you. So the purpose of this call is to determine really which trade-off you want. Trade-off that the average person takes, and hopefully you're not average, is I'll sacrifice all this money to realtors and all these closing costs and all these discounts and all these concessions and all this negotiating so that I can get my money and run. Well, yeah, it ends up costing you a lot of money to do that. Whereas if you can be a little bit patient, you're going to get all the money that you and the house has earned. No realtor commissions, no closing costs. We take it as is. You don't have to fix it up. This is off your plate. It's not your issue anymore. It's mine. And while you wait to either get the money that you're owed or to get the bank loan paid off, I'm going to pay you monthly. So it creates a nice little income for you as well. Or it just offsets the debt and people can move on. If you can live with that, you're going to get a lot more money on the house. So the purpose of my call is to distinguish that. So you got to tell me, are you even willing to do that? And if not, then we'll talk about the other alternatives. But if you are, I don't have an offer for you, man. You got to tell me what you'd be willing to do. And we need to go through a few questions. And as soon as you answer those, then we'll find out. Fair enough? That's the way the call goes down. So you got to get out of that paradigm of what should I offer? What should I offer? What should I offer? Don't worry about it. Forget about it. Find out what the seller's willing to do. Because if the seller ain't willing to do it, it doesn't matter what you're going to offer, okay? Let's find out what they're willing to do. Let's hold them accountable to that. If they're willing to do it, then we get into our due diligence and possibly negotiate further. So that's the point of this slide here, is we let the seller make us the offer. We don't have any idea what to offer until we learn what the seller's going to do. And we have to have a conversation with them to determine that. If I get another message from somebody who's been around for a while saying, somebody said they're open to terms, what should I do? My answer is, well, maybe you should go through the training because we've talked about this a lot of times. Basically, what I just said, you have to get on the phone and find out what they'll do. I can't tell you what to do. I don't even know what the seller will do. Once the seller tells us what they'll do, then I can tell you. But you got to get some basic facts. That doesn't mean you have to be a silver-tongued devil on the phone. That doesn't mean you have to be crisp and clean and, a superpowered negotiator on the phone. It means you have to ask some questions, get the answers, and record the answers. If you're that nervous and scared about it, and I don't think anyone on this call is, but if anybody is, then just say, hey, look, I'm collecting information from my partner, and he's going to qualify whether or not this is the house. So the better you can do with me, the better I can do with my partner, and we'll get this thing bought. But I got to answer some questions. So you can handle it that way if you want to. Send in the deal eval form. Let me look at it. And then you go back and said, yeah, my guy told me I can do this and that, if you want to play it that way, right? So just look at your job as getting the answers to the questions, getting the deal evaluations forms done where people are amenable. If you handle it that way, you'll send out contracts. You'll get some of them back. You won't get others back. The ones you get back, we're going to make a shitload of money on. Okay? You got to call people. Now, with that as the backdrop, mind you, it's a very important backdrop. It is the basis for this because remember, it's a continuum of possibility. There's only so many things a seller can do. They are going to do one of the things that we service. If we can't get them to sell it to us on terms, if we can't get them to take monthly payments, we're going to we're going to make an exceptional presentation on why they ought to list it with us, with you as the realtor or your friend as the realtor. They're going to end up doing that anyway if they don't sell it to you on terms or someone else on terms. Okay. So when you know that, it's like, hey man, I'm chilling. I just take a chill pill on the call. I get the answers to my questions. We plug them into the right slot. It's like just playing tennis, volleying back and forth. Wherever the ball goes, we hit it in the right spot. We're not going to be able to direct their motivation and what it is that they want to do. So I'm telling you, with a little bit more time in the business, everybody, you're going to get to a point where you come across just shy of apathetic, ambivalent. You're a good guy and and you do want to buy the house, but it's very clear that you don't care that much. And that's when you become much more attractive because you're not pushing anything on anybody, right? So that is that very, very important posture that you want to have.